welcome back to our channel. As you guys have seen from the title, this ain't no cooking video. Why I'm starting like that? Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. We are back with episode, I'm not sure if it's 5 or 6, y'all.
It's 5.
It's 5, okay, of the Finally Home series. I know it's been a while since we've uploaded or filmed a Finally Home episode, but in this video, I'm gonna catch you guys up, give you an update on the house. We're gonna talk all about how we arrived at the point of closing, and we have some footage of our actual closing day. That's gonna go at the end of this video. My wonderful husband here has work to do, so he's not going to be here for the duration of the video, but I at least wanted him to start it off with me because you can't have one without the other.
You really can't. But I just want to convey how I felt during this period, and you know, just trying to relive the situation again is really cool, man. Like, I remember getting the clear to close, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way that I felt, the feeling that I felt, it was just like, it's unexplainable, man. I mean, to be, or to come from where I come from and to do what we've done is truly amazing. Like, you know, maybe it's not a big deal to a lot of y'all buying a home and securing the future for your family, but to us, man, I just remember walking up in that place, you know what I mean? I was nervous, hands sweating, like, man, they, you know, you just, when you don't know how the process is going, you just are uncertain, and it just was like
to finally get there.
Yeah, like,
I just remember feeling like, are we really here? I kept smiling. I'm like, these people gonna think I'm crazy. Like,
the way she was looking at me, you know, like the love at first sight look. I just kept looking over and catching her. She was just smiling at me, like. It was kind of creepy, man, but I can understand. Like, man, we finally did it, man.
Yes, like, and it's a beautiful thing. Like, honestly, it's a struggle. I want to choose my words wisely but it's just a beautiful thing, because I'm not saying that people who haven't had the struggle don't appreciate things, but it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we gotta call it what it is.
Yeah, and it was just an amazing feeling, like owning our own home the conventional way. Like, we've done rent to own, we've done all of the other options aside from conventionally, like, owning our own home. So, like, literally being able to own our own home was just, it was surreal. It was really, really surreal, because you know how some situations or some things in your life is just like the Achilles heel. Like, that's how it always was for us. Like, if we could just have a stable place and not have to keep moving, we could have gotten so much further so much sooner than we did. But it all happened for a reason. Like, God's will for our life, His will for our life is perfect. So I wouldn't change a thing, because it taught us so much along the way. But that was just always like the one thing that was like, can't get right. Where'd that come from, that movie?
That's life.
Oh, okay, life. Yeah, like,
we might insert a picture of can't get right in the back somewhere. We was definitely can't get right, because essentially you got to start over every time.
Yeah, you got to start over. You got to have first month's rent and deposit. And then our last home was a rent to own. We thought we were going to be there for a while, and obviously you guys know that we aren't there anymore. But get into a land contract, it was a land contract, rent to own. Same thing, really, a bit different, but the same. But when you do things like that, you put up a whole lot more money up front, and then look, we don't even live there anymore. So it's like, every time you move, you have to pay so much money for something that has no security. There's no security in this life anyway. But you guys know what I'm saying, from a logical standpoint, when you have to continue to start over and you're not prepared for it, it sets you back every time. And so to be just like, for me,
it solidified me as a man. For me, it was like a graduation day. It solidified me. It made me feel like a man who's truly providing a better future for his family. And I had to get it out the mud. I didn't have nobody coaching me on this. I didn't have nobody leading me and showing me the ropes. Like, we did this on our own. So
Yeah.
to me, it really gives being finally home a new meaning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then I was just telling him the other day, like, he always makes sure that I'm fine throughout the renovation process because it can be stressful. And I always reassure him, like, I am good. Like, not only did we get to purchase our own home, like, we legit purchased my dream home. Like, I say my dream home because he didn't really have a preference. It was whatever I wanted. But I could truly say that no matter what tax bracket or situation we were in financially, like, I would have still chosen this exact home. Matter of fact, I looked through a lot of the other finally home videos and the footage, and I realized that I didn't really give you guys any specs, you know, of the home. So we're gonna get into all of that in this video. I know you have to go. I don't know when you're leaving, but
I'm about to leave in 1 second.
you gotta leave in 1 second. But we're gonna get into like the entire process, how we actually purchased this home specifically, like the steps we took, the timeline, and the steps we took in the order that we took those steps in order to get to our closing. So this is going to be an exciting video. I'm excited.
Finally home, y'all.
Finally home.
I wanna be with you always, 'cause that is what my heart says. That's what my heart says. I wanna be with you always. You are my world in every place. It's the things that you do, and it's the smile on your face. And as time goes by, I know I'm in a better place. I'm in a better place. Without your love, I am out of place. And without you.
Alright, y'all, so I'm gonna get like really basic, like down to the basics and really detailed in this video and try to share some information to and for anyone that is in the process of purchasing a home, or anyone that this is something that you want to do in the future. This purchasing a home is definitely something that you want to be prepared for, and you want to get prepared before you feel like you're ready. Does that make sense? Okay, because 9 times out of 10 when you feel like you're ready financially, there are so many other things that come together and make the deal work that you need to have set in place that you can already start doing before you even have like the money. The money is a huge portion of it, but there are other huge portions of preparing to buy a home. Obviously, the first one we know is to make sure that your credit is where it needs to be. In order for you to even obtain a loan. But there are things that go into making sure your credit is where it needs to be, such as like obviously paying your bills on time, but also minimizing those bills. Because one thing that I learned throughout the process was it looks better if you have less bills or debt. Even if you're paying it on time, that can still hurt you if you have too many accounts. All right, so that's one thing that was very beneficial and worked in our favor, because we didn't have many accounts open of bills that we were paying. So like having a lot of credit cards, getting a lot of things from stores that you're making payments on, just like credit accounts. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So even if you pay them on time, that's all fine and good, but the less accounts you have open, the better. You want to have like all the documentation about you. You want to have that accumulating over the years or over the months, like bank statements, anything that you feel like they may ask you for, anything that you feel like is a reference to your financial status. You want to start accumulating those things like now, before you even get the money to be able to purchase a home. start like printing out your bank statements. Just make a file. I have like a folder. I don't know what those folders are called. Dang, I have one down here, but it's upstairs. But I have a folder that you guys, you know, you open up those file folders that you could carry on your own, and it has different compartments in it. So I had a compartment with bank statements. I had a compartment with tax transcripts and tax documents for over years. Oh, thank you, baby. So one of these, y'all know these things? And then when you open up, it has all these compartments. So I like always buy these when I see them on sale at Target. Super cute. Okay, rose gold and gold. But you want to get you one of these like as soon as you become an adult, and just start putting things in there. So I had like bank statements that I would print out. I had tax transcripts that I would print out after every tax year. I had pay stubs for my husband for his job, and also financial documentation of our own businesses that we had to turn in. So over the years, I would just like file those things, put them in here, and keep them, because I knew like when we go to purchase a home, I want to have all of my stuff together, even when we weren't in the financial situation to be able to purchase the home. Okay, so that's what you want to do before you even get to that point where you feel like you're ready. And then once, I have notes here, you guys, if I'm looking down, and once you get to that point, the first step is going to be to either contact a realtor who's going to connect you with a loan officer, or a loan officer who may connect you to a realtor. However that may work, you want to get in contact with a loan officer to turn in your documents so that you can get a pre-approval, and then you'll hook up with your realtor and you guys will go out searching for homes. So step 1 would be to contact your loan officer. Step 2 would be to receive a pre-approval letter. Step 3 would be to contact a realtor, shop for a house, and extend an offer to purchase on your dream home. Step 4, contact your loan officer once your offer is accepted to finalize your loan application. Okay, we're gonna stop here for a second, because this is where it got hard for us, okay? Because there's only so much research that you can do without having experience of a situation. So this is the part that got to me. Once we got excited, we got our pre-approval, we found our house, and then they start asking me for all these other papers. Like, I knew they would keep asking for more stuff, but honestly, I thought the pre-approval was like the end of the hard part. But once you put your offer in and it's accepted, that's really when the hard part starts, because now all of your paperwork and information about you is going over to the underwriter, okay? And that's where it get real in the field, y'all. I was so nervous. Like, every time they would call and ask for something, I was so anxious. And it's like, you know that you've prepared for this, but the way that it's set up, it still makes you anxious. Honestly, I feel like they do it on purpose, because it just makes you so anxious. Having a supportive realtor goes a long way, because our realtor, she just continued to reassure us. She just continued to just give us information that ease the mental burden, all right? So we were at step 4, which was to contact your loan officer once your offer is accepted and finalized. Then you want to schedule your home inspection. Your lender orders the commitment appraisal, and like if you need like flood certificates or anything like that. Then you want to obtain your homeowner's insurance. One thing to remember is that everyone has someone that they work with. These people have been in this industry for years. They've built relationships and connections. So they're gonna have like insurance companies that they refer you to. Like I said earlier, the loan officer might have a realtor that they refer you to, or the realtor may have a loan officer that they refer you to. You always want to consider what's best for you. Those recommendations may be what's best for you. They may not be. So you always want to do your own research on the side. Don't be pressured into making a decision right away. We were pre-approved with different lenders, and you have 14 days for different lenders to run your credit, your situation, and give you different amounts that you will be approved for. Another thing to consider as well is that your credit score is not universal. That's another thing that we learned. So like this lender could find that your credit score is 699 and they approve you for a certain amount contingent on your credit score and your financial situation. A completely different lender could approve you for 740 and approve you for this amount, or they approved you for 699. Now this lender is telling you only 650. So that's something to consider as well, because the credit score, for whatever reason, does fluctuate depending on who's running your credit. Okay, where I was going before that point was homeowners insurance, and they'll refer you. A lot of lenders will have someone that they refer you to for homeowners insurance. The homeowners insurance company that our lender referred to us, we did go with that company. However, I did my research and shopped around. That way I was sure I was getting the best deal. Also, we had 2 pre-approvals from 2 different lenders. The lender that we actually went with was the lender that our realtor referred us to, and her knowing that loan officer really helped our situation run more smoothly, because she could be like, I'm just about to call him and ask, or you know what I'm saying? Like the fact that they had a relationship and they had coexisted before we came into play was very beneficial to our situation. The fact that she referred them made all the difference, but the fact that those 2 actually knew each other made our situation run more smoothly. When you have a relationship with someone, any type of relationship, it's gonna run more smoothly when you have history, okay? So then you want to obtain your homeowner's insurance. Step 8, your lender will provide updates on your appraisal. So they'll let you know what's going on with your appraisal. I told you guys in a previous video that our appraisal period took a little longer than usual. When you're getting an appraisal, you have to appraise that home next to the most recently sold homes, and he didn't. He chose other homes in our community that have been sold recent, but they weren't the most recently sold homes. And so the homeowner looked at that and was like, no, you know, or their realtor who they were working with looked at that and was like, you have to appraise the home next to the most recently sold homes, because it's in their favor to get a proper appraisal, because the price of the home, the amount of money that the seller is going to get is contingent on that appraisal, okay? Step 9 is the underwriters will review all your documents and work to approve the loan for closing. Additional items may be requested. So something to know about the underwriters, even though the underwriting process comes with a lot of anxiety, they want the deal to close just as bad as you do, honestly, because the reason why they do the pre-approval and then once you choose the home, you go into underwriting is because if they were to do all these things before you choose a home, what if you don't find a home? What if you decide to go with another lender? Like, they take so much time and they're so invested in getting this loan to go through. They want to make sure that this is what you really want, this is what you really want to do. One thing that we learned is a lot of the things that the underwriter does cannot be done unless they know the specific home that you're wanting to purchase. So that's where the pre-approval phase comes in, because at first I'm like, why y'all didn't ask us all of this before y'all pre-approved us? Like, you know, just being all dramatic like I can get sometimes. But once we start to continue to go through the process, I realized that they couldn't have even done all of this if they hadn't had the information to this specific home. You can't even do what the underwriter needs to do without that, okay? Even though the underwriting process can be intimidating, just try to understand and keep it in the forefront of your mind that they want this deal to go through just as much as you do, or they wouldn't have even entertained you as a client, because if the deal doesn't go through, that's a waste of time, money, energy, and a whole lot of resources for them, just like it is for the buyer and the seller, okay? So that was step 9, underwriting. Step 10 is to e-sign your documents and electronically send them like 3 days before. Is really 3 days before is when you get your like closing disclosure. So like when you get that closing disclosure, you know you about to go to closing in like 3 days, because they give you a prospective closing date, but depending on how the rest of the process goes, that may not be the date. So once you get that closing disclosure, they only have 3 days after that to actually close. So you know you close once you get that closing disclosure, and then you go to closing. All right. So like after we turned in our initial application, that's when they ordered the appraisal. Okay, that doesn't mean it was done. They do a lot of things that may not officially be complete. They just start the process because there are so many things that need to be done during that time frame. So our appraisal was ordered. Then our loan file was submitted for processing, okay? Prior to this, the appraisal has been ordered and a complete copy of all the requested application documents have been provided. You want to get them what they asked for as soon as possible, okay? After they order the appraisal, they're going to start like processing your title and things like that, which consists of your loan file being submitted. It's critical that you get them all the information that they ask for in a timely fashion, okay? Like anytime they ask us for stuff, that exact day, y'all, I will be sending it, because I stayed 2 steps ahead so that we could be sure to close in that 30-day period, okay? Because we was living with my parents, we just needed to be in our house, okay? We had a lot riding on getting this home, okay? If for some reason we wouldn't have purchased this home, I promise you guys, I wouldn't have been sad that I had to go through the process again. It would have just been about this home. Like I would have compared every single house to this house after that. I know how my mind works. Like it just would have been very hard for me knowing what was out there, knowing how fortunate we were to have gotten this home in our price range. Like I would have just, y'all would have had to call for the elders and pray for me, because I would have been so sad, okay? So I'm just thankful that our process went how it went. But anyway, let's keep going. Then, of course, we talked about it going to underwriting. You need your insurance. And then they do the final submission. You're going to have different insurance bids that they'll go over and see which ones are better. And when I talked about earlier how like the underwriters want the deal to go through just as bad as you do, like every time they come back, they give you suggestions on how to get done what they need you to get done. Like they really work with you. Say for instance the numbers aren't adding up and your monthly payment is coming out to be more than they presume you to be able to afford. They'll give you options like, hey, can you pay your home insurance up for a year, and then you'll be within the price range that we feel like you can afford. Like they'll give you options and ways to get done what they want you to get done. Like they won't just be like no. I mean, some might, but ours didn't. Like they gave us options. Like, okay, this is what you can do, this is what we need from you. This didn't work, so now let's do this, or we need this paper from the bank because this or that. Like, okay, for instance, I have a bank account that my YouTube checks go in, but they're both at the same bank. So when we pay our earnest money, I got it out of my YouTube bank account, and it still said the name of the same banking institution, so they assumed that it was from our bank that they had like all of the statements and stuff for. And so then they continued to ask for bank statements over time. So once we gave them bank statements that they had asked for after us turning in the earnest money, they looked at the bank statement and was like, well, why don't we see the earnest money check that came out on this bank statement? Why is it not on here? Because, you know, it's the same account, right? So then I was like, no, well, actually, it's not the same account. I just got the earnest money out of my account, but I'm not thinking that they needed that banking information because the loan was not contingent on my income. It was only contingent on my husband's income. So they were like, either you guys can give us the information, like the bank statements and stuff, to this account, or you guys can do a gift letter. So I'm like, what is a gift letter? So they emailed me a letter. We had to print it out, and I had to like sign the letter, and the letter was stating that I was gifting Benjamin the amount of the earnest money, that I was gifting him the amount of the earnest money, and that I would not, that I'm not expecting to receive that money back. Here's why they want you to sign and say, if someone is giving you a gift, it could be your parents, it could be anyone. Here's why they want you to sign that letter and say that you're not expecting that money back. Because if you are expecting that money back, then guess what? That's now going to be considered in their debt to income ratio, because now they're in debt to you for this money that they borrowed. So that's what a gift letter is doing. It's basically holding you to the fact that you ain't about to ask for this money back. You gave him this money as a gift. So that's how deep it is to them to have the financial situation straight. Like, I had to sign a letter and say I was giving him a gift. Okay, it was interesting, right? I know, yeah, it was interesting to me. Okay, and so we did the gift letter. And that way, that was easier, because then now I didn't have to go to my other bank account and start pulling out all of these bank statements. And then now I would have been turning in bank statements from 2 different bank accounts, and that just would have complicated things a bit more. The reason why I didn't have to, though, is because only his name was on the loan. My YouTube income was not considered in us obtaining the loan. So that may work different for someone who you and your spouse are on the loan, or if both of you are on a certain bank account. Like, just be careful and be honest and be upfront, because had that went differently, they could have been like, okay, now y'all didn't tell us about this bank account, but it just didn't have nothing to do with the loan. And I didn't know, like, hey, I should have got the earnest money or the cashier's check from this account. I just went into the bank and gave them my ID and took it out of that account. So, and the reason why I did that, because they were so adamant about doing as less as possible with our bank account. So I didn't want to go to our main bank account and take out this large check for earnest money. I was like, well, I'll just take it out of this account. In my mind, I'm thinking, like, that'll look better, that money is not continuing to come out of this account. This account is staying, you know, consistent or whatever. But anyway, that was a lesson learned. So I hope that helps somebody else. Let's just chit chat about the renovation process. The renovation process has been, I don't want to say very stressful, because we've been so excited that it's kind of like, I learned my lesson about complaining and letting stuff stress me out that I have prayed for. Like, girl, you've been praying for this, now it's here, and you talk about you stressed out. Like, that's corny. So I've learned my lesson about doing that. So I can't even say that the process has been stressful. The process has been very educational, and it has been a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of decision making. This ain't something you can keep changing your mind about. This is not cheap. This is not, I mean, you can't just decide like, oh, I don't like this, it's done. Yeah, the contractor can change it, but that costs more money for the contractor to change it. All right, so one of the things that we've been experiencing is, because of COVID, a lot of like building materials and things like that were like more than 50% more than they would actually be during a normal time. So they gave us options like, hey, we can do it this way for cheaper, or we can just wait till the building material prices go back to normal. That's gonna like make your renovation take longer. Like, our contractor is really good about giving us options as far as how we can get things done. Okay, so if y'all know anything about me, your girl likes quality. Okay, I like to get good deals and I like to save money, but I like quality. So I will like buy some winter boots in the dead of the summer because they quality and I got them on sale. So I just don't like to cut corners with quality, and it's not about the price tag or wanting or liking or needing expensive things. When you get quality things and do things the right way the first time, that saves you money in the long run, whether it's buying small items or large items. Like, at the end of the day, if you buy something that's not quality, you'll find that you're gonna keep buying it over and over and over again. So essentially, girl, you're spending the same amount of money that you would if you had bought the good thing the first time. Okay, so I don't like to cut corners. So although they gave us options of how we can get it done this way, quicker or cheaper, like, no, I will wait. Like, I waited this long to get my house. I want my house how I want it. Okay, so that is what's making our renovations take longer than we expected. But in them taking longer, it has truly been a blessing, because when you live in a home, you start to get the feel of it and you start to see how you live in this home, and you know how you want it to function. Okay, so like, just getting to know our house, a lot of the renovation plans and designs that we had when we first got here, during our period of slow renovations, we actually changed a lot of things that we thought we wanted when we first got here. For instance, we had chosen the space on the main level for the laundry area, and because of COVID and everything that I explained to you guys prior, we had a break in construction. So we were able to really sit back and think and be here and live for a while, and like, you know what? We want a second floor laundry room. Like, we want our laundry room up where the bedrooms are, where the clothes go. You know what I mean? It's just more functional and it's more convenient, and we have space for it up here. That was one of the things that was gonna be done first. Like, our washer and dryer hookups changed and moved to the area downstairs that we had chosen for the laundry room. But when we had that break in construction, we were able to see, like, wow, we want our laundry upstairs. Because the previous owners, our kitchen space was so large that they put a wall in the middle of the kitchen. Like, the laundry room was originally in the basement, and the basement is unfinished. So I guess they didn't like going down in the basement to do laundry. So they divided the kitchen into 3 parts. They made like another office over here. Then they had their kitchen area, and then they had cut it up again and put a laundry room on the first level. So y'all know me, I wanted my kitchen back, like, open. So we removed that wall, and then we were going to put the laundry room in another area on the main floor. But after having that break in construction, we were able to like live in the home and really decide. You want to start your whole plan before you touch anything, because for instance, we have plans to do things that we know we're not gonna do during this first go round, but we're making concessions for those things. So like, we know that eventually we want to add on in a certain area, so we're not going to do anything in that space that doesn't allow us to add on down the line in that area. You know what I mean? It's just better to actually live here, take your time, so that you make the right decisions. That's what's going on with the renovation. I just wanted to update you guys with that, but everything is going well. We still love our home. I still wake up every day like, I cannot believe I live here. Like, I cannot believe this is my house. So like I said, I don't think I ever told you guys, but our house is 4,000 square feet. We have 4 bedrooms, I'm sorry, and 2 offices, like 2 places that could be considered other bedrooms, but they use them as offices. One of the spaces we use them as an office, which I'm in now, is my husband's office. And then, so 4 bedrooms, 2 offices, 4,000 square feet. We have a living room, a dining room, we have a family room and a sunroom. We have a finished attic and a basement that is getting finished. So it's a lot we got going on. I'm excited to start showing you guys. We've been filming the entire process, but again, we've been so engrossed in getting it done. It's like a lot to edit. It's easier to edit like cooking videos and just vlogs as opposed to like getting all that footage, dividing it, you know, deciding which content fits with the other. Yeah, it's just a lot, but I'm excited to get into it with you guys. I just wanted to give you all an update on that, on the renovations, on what's going on, why the Finally Home series was at a bit of a standstill, but I'm here letting you guys know what's up. I hope you guys enjoyed this portion of the video. I hope the information that I've given you all has been helpful and informative. We're about to jump into the footage from closing day. If I don't come back at the end of this video, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. If you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and leave us a comment if you enjoy the content. Also, let's go ahead and connect on other social sites such as Instagram and Facebook. And you guys can also email me with content ideas and requests. Check out our family vlog playlist. Check out our What's for Dinner playlist. So much dope content on our channel and so much more dope content to come. We love you guys. We appreciate you all, and y'all already know we'll see you guys in our next video. Big money good. You sitting here, you ready to sign? You're gonna take the piece off. Okay.
He's your escrow officer.
Okay.
I'm her husband, and I'm your taking care of all your signing and notarizing and make sure everything's right for you.
Okay.
This is one of the thinner ones, so it won't take too long. First home?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
One of the most important steps of your life.
Yes.
Benjamin, you just have to answer the COVID questions. I don't know if Tammy asked you on the phone.
Signature above my current name.
Yes. This is it. I'm using your driver's license, verified who you are. So you just have to sign next to it. I think you're the only one on the loan. Yeah. So a lot of this documentation you won't have to sign. I think when we get to the deeds. And this is strictly for the Patriot Act information. Now, this is a nice loan. You got a good rate. You got.
We're very fortunate.
Congratulations. The good Lord was with you. Yeah, rates are going up.
Oh, have they already started going up?
3%.
Where I put this here?
And you just have to sign next to it. Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen people that haven't closed yet, and their loan's still in process because they didn't hit that 30-day mark. You know, they give you a certain amount of time.
To find a home.
Yeah. So sad to say, they're getting hit with that extra percentage. Homes are so hard to find right now.
Okay.
But this is your primary thing. This is, you realize that that's your amount, that's your interest rate, that's when your payment's starting. This will show up again, but this is your actual note for the home.
Okay.
Now, I want you to realize something. Okay, now on that one, you just have to sign up. Yep, there, that's good. Then on top, you just have to sign it. I will.